end?
We're good, Dr. Green.
So in the when we talked briefly before, you mentioned, I think Kyle, you mentioned that it might have been Anthony, I don't recall, that you started at $13.50 and you went to $11.50 and $9.50 and the district hasn't moved. So I want to remind everybody that what you indicated at the very beginning was that your top priority was to make sure we didn't have separate salary schedules. And our first proposal did not include anything to once again correct the salary issues that was provided to us and handed to us by House Bill 641. So as part of that correction, we added $980,000 to our proposal that was not there the first time that we came. And with the supplement proposal, we have placed compensation, salary over $1 million to what we started, where we started. We have agreed on so much of what's already there. We have agreed on the numbers, first of all, of what numbers of employees fall into the different groups. We have agreed that with the 80% the 80% for the classroom teachers, that the starting salary would be $46,550. We have agreed on the 2%. We have agreed with the numbers. We have agreed with your priority that $980,000 that we have committed to this should go to make sure that all teachers under $46,550 are going to be on the same schedule. We all agree it's bad legislation for the veteran experienced teachers. We said from the very beginning, this is a first step. We are down the road, want to look at everything that we can do for veteran teachers, but we don't have the salary, the funds to do that now, to increase their salary more than the $710. The only thing that we have that we haven't, come to settlement on is that piece of money. And, that $980,000, your priority was to bring that salary schedule up. If you want to look at how to do that differently, we can do that. But there is not a person in the state of Florida that isn't worried about some sort of cuts that are coming down the road. Anthony, you sit on SIAC. You know that even with the changes that we're making this year, that we are looking at another $10 million of lack of funding next year for that program. We value all of our teachers. Every bit of recurring money that we decide to add to anything is going to be cuts that are going to have to be coming down the road. The only piece that we are not agreeing on is the $710. And we have no more money to add to that pot. We want to work toward it next year. We want to do exactly what Mr. Perlman suggested and start finding that money. And your priority next year, I'm hearing you, will be the veteran teachers. This year, the priority was salary schedules that matched. And to that, we added $980,000. So the belief that the district didn't move is not one I want anybody to be left with. We did move to the tune of 980, and with the supplement schedule, more than $1 million.
Okay, so I don't know what you want me to do with that. Once again, we are here, we're willing to negotiate. We are within your money that you have set aside for compensation. So you came to us, you said 950, you had supplement asks, we came to you, we agreed to your supplement. It seems to me that the discussion as to the 710, which is the only piece of money laying out there unresolved, is for you to respond to.
We did respond to that when we said that. So are you looking for a counter, another counter from us? I'm not sure what you were discussing for the last 35 minutes. So the ball is in your court. The ball is in your court, not ours.
So 710 is our best offer that we have for that group.
So BFT is willing to continue to negotiate. Are you willing?
On what are you going to negotiate? On what?
On the 710, on the 710.
Well, I haven't heard a response.
Okay, so are you
I mean,
asking?
our final is 710.
Okay, so I'm hearing two different things. So let me ask the question again. If we come back with a counter, are you going to negotiate?
710 is where we are. That's our final offer.
Okay, so we do not accept we do not accept 710. We are willing to continue to negotiate. It sounds like you are unwilling to continue to negotiate.
We do not have the funding to add any more to the compensation that we have on the table, which I remind you is not only over $1 million in teachers' pockets, but over a total package of $7 million of board money that has gone into this compensation package.
Dr.
On the bad legislation, we get it. We know this, we look forward to next year when we might be able to do some things.
You said a key word there, Dr. Green. Dr. Green, you said a key word. The key word you just said was might be able to do something. Well,
absolutely.
We might, which means no. That indicates to me
we're not going to be cut next year.
That again, BPS will not budget for a raise for veteran teachers. We've asked year after year. I said it before. I'll say it again. Probably we keep getting these crappy and, organization of funds sent down from the state because the state doesn't trust the district to budget appropriately.
I hear what you're saying, Ms.
Might isn't good enough. Might isn't good enough. That word is not good enough. I understand
that, but I say one more time. While we were sitting here in caucus, I got a little ticker on my text that Disney just laid off 28,000 employees. There is not
Dr. Green,
one
you always tell me
in the district, in the state, that believes that there is not going to be some form of budget cuts that are coming down from the state.
You always tell me not to compare us to profit organizations. So if we're going to open that door to compare us to profit organizations, I'll walk through it.
I agree. I agree. I do say that all the time. My point is people all over the state are losing their jobs, all over the state. And we are trying desperately to keep our people employed and doing what we can do for them. We agree the legislation is awful. We are making a step toward writing that with the salary corrections of almost $1 million. We anticipate being able to do something for veteran teachers in the years to come. And we started this off 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago with that same piece of information. It hasn't changed.
So, okay. Once again, my job is to bring the best deal to the memberships to vote on. That is what my job is to do. We do not have the best deal in front of us. We have not exceeded the amount that you have available for compensation. We've not even asked for close to what you have available for compensation. You have not given us a counter. But you are, so once again, are you willing to negotiate over the $710? And if you are not, you might need to go into state statute and figure out how to handle that.
I think that we are not going anywhere from the $710. So we either agree that that's what the figure is going to be, or we disagree that that's what the figure is going to be.
Okay, so do you want to set another session for this week where where you could counter our
No.
offer?
No, again, we're either going to agree that that's the number or we're going to disagree that that's the number. But that's our number, 710.
Dr. Green, I'm not quite sure anybody that's watching, anybody that's listening knows what we're continuing to do. We responded to your offer. We've multiple times stated that $710 is not acceptable to us. We gave you a counter. I mean, Dr. Green, what are we doing?
The only thing that I can say to you is if you wish to take that 980,000 and distribute it in a different way, you know, you're more than welcome to do that. But we are with the 980,000 that we've added to our compensation package, and there is no more to add.
So in other words, if we want all our social workers, school counselors, media specialists, pre-K teachers to stay on the same pay scale, then you're threatening us with layoffs? I mean, is that how it works? If either we put them on a different pay scale or we have layoffs? I'm a little
I didn't say
confused.
anything about that. Who said?
Well,
I didn't say anything about layoffs. I said if you want to redistribute the $980,000 and set your priority a little differently than the same salary schedule, you may do so. But we've agreed that that was one of your top priorities, same salary schedule. Next year, I assume your priority will be veteran teachers.
I think our priority, because you keep putting words in our mouths, our priority is to treat all the classifications of our teachers with the respect that they deserve. And honestly, looking at what the governor put down, it is a very divisive program. However,
Absolutely.
the idea that the district can't come up with enough money to make sure that our veteran teachers don't actually take a pay cut. We're not even talking about them getting a raise. We're talking about them not taking a pay cut. And we keep talking about priorities, but honestly, we should have come into this year with money already budgeted for raises, pandemic or no pandemic. BPS has consistently said next year. We fought to get to where we were the past couple of years, but that wasn't because we sat down and we had a happy agreement. We all know what it looked like. Teachers shouldn't have to claw to be able to get money that is not going to negatively affect them. We have teachers out there right now who, after a paycheck, are left with pennies in their bank account. For some of them, based on this offer, that will translate to being in the negative and probably getting bank fees. Because if they are forced to stay on a health plan because of medical issues, we are actually going to do damage. And the idea that we've sat and been promised by the superintendent that money was going to put aside, the fact that we've sat there and heard them say, yes, we know the money falls to the bottom line. We're going to capture those salary dollars and put them back into compensation. We're not looking at all the salary dollars on the table that's captured from teacher lapse. We're not.
Again, we've added $5 million to the fund, one-time infusion of $4.7 million to the health fund reoccurring. We've added $980,000 to this compensation package. We've added parental leave. We've added $92,000 now for the supplement package. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. We've changed the premiums. We've lowered the premiums than what was recommended from the SIAC committee. We are at our best and final.
Okay, and we are not accepting this, and we are willing to continue to negotiate around the $710.
We have nothing left to negotiate.
Okay. We are willing to continue. The Brevard Federation of Teachers is willing to continue to negotiate.
Then we can set a time for next week and come back together and see if $710 is acceptable to you.
Okay, but $710 is not going to be acceptable to us, but if you want to schedule another time next week, we'll
Well,
be
it'll be
back.
a 5-minute meeting. You'll say yes or no.
I don't think that's negotiating in good faith right now.
Again, we've moved $1 million from where we started.
Right.
$1 million isn't good enough, Dr. Green. Not when we know what LAPS does, not when we know the amount of dollars that the district captures when teachers retire and resign and leave. $1 million isn't good enough. That's not even how much you capture from that. That's certainly not a budgeted amount. You can do better. The district can do better.
Okay, are we calling it a night?
I'm a little confused. I know you're familiar with how bargaining works. Are you declaring impasse?
Once again, let's be clear of what we have agreed on. We've
No,
agreed
that's
on
not
the
my
80%.
question. I'm not asking what we've agreed on. I'm asking, are
We
you?
have nowhere left to go. So if you're not willing to accept the $710, then we are done.
So you are declaring impasse or you are done?
I think we're both declaring impasse because
No,
neither one
no,
of us
no,
are going to
no.
move.
We're willing to negotiate.
Okay. Okay.
The Brevard Federation of Teachers is willing to negotiate. We are not declaring impasse. Are you declaring impasse?
Again, we can come back next Monday or whatever day that we can come up with, but we are not moving from $710. That is our best and final offer.
Okay, so that is not bargaining in good faith. I once again say that. I feel like you're really not bargaining in good faith right now, and you know that.
I disagree. I just laid out every single thing we've agreed to.
Dr. Green, you refuse to declare impasse, but you're telling us you're not budging. That's not bargaining in good faith. If you need to do what you need to do, then declare impasse. We are willing to negotiate. No, we are willing to negotiate. You are not, right? You're telling me, yeah, we'll come back. We're not going to budge. That's not bargaining in good faith. You owe it to our teachers to have a clear position right now. And that is, we are not accepting the offer. We are willing to negotiate. You are saying, we'll come back. We're not willing to negotiate. Then there is a process that you need to follow. And, your school board needs to own their action or come back and negotiate in good faith.
Oh, I believe that impasse is when neither side is willing to move off of their position. Our position is that we are at $710 for those people that are over 46,550. That is our position. We're not willing to move off that. You're not willing to accept that. It seems like we are both at impasse.
No, but we're willing to look at a different offer and pass another offer across the table.
Okay, then let's pick a night to do so.
Okay. All right.
Are you going to look at our different offer though? I'm very confused.
Yeah, well, y'all have to see it. I'm looking at my calendar right now.
All right.
How about October 7th?
That works for me. Yeah. Okay, we could do October 7th.
Okay, thank you.
I just want to say though that, open enrollment is scheduled, I think, to start the week of the 26th. We're getting to a point where if this contract is not ratified, we are going to file an unfair labor practice if you move ahead with open enrollment.
I believe we told you when we TA'd that we would be moving ahead due to exigent circumstances of our health insurance fund. We have not been quiet about that.
That's a big word that I'm sure the lawyer is using. I'm not sure which one of your lawyers, because now suddenly you found $110,000 to hire a second lawyer, which you're going to need. But we are going to file an unfair labor practice. So when you're considering cost of things, I want you to consider those costs as well, because you are going to have to pay those costs, but you don't factor those things in. It's the small picture you're looking at always.
So we'll send out invites for next Wednesday.
Okay. All right, but like I said, we, by no means do I want it to be even suggested that this union has somehow said it's okay to move forward with health insurance. So we want to make it clear, health insurance needs to be negotiated and ratified by the membership. And we are not at the point where health insurance has been ratified. And if this keeps going, we are going to file an unfair labor practice. And we could talk a lot about exigent circumstances all you want, but we're going to be talking about labor law and what you're allowed to do under Chapter 447. And health insurance is a bargainable subject. All right. Have a good night.
Thank you.